Warner Brothers Discovery is in the headlines once again for all the wrong reasons. I mean, they can't get their comic book movies right, so why not just not get their video games right, correct? Anyway, so the thing that was in the headlines was that Hogwarts Legacy was one of the most successful games in recent memory for the company, especially in light of how badly Suicide Squad did. And during a recent Morgan and Stanley event, I got this from GameSpot. I'm going to be reading the article here a little bit. Peretti shared the company's strategies going forward, and he explained that the company wants to pivot away from volatile AAA console games in favor of its biggest achievers. And you would think, okay, cool, we're focusing on Hogwarts Legacy, right? That's their biggest achiever. No, he believes that live service games and free-to-play games are the way to go. So they're doubling down their efforts on live service and free-to-play games. I'm going to continue on here. Quote, rather than just launching a one-and-done console game, how do we develop a game around, for example, Hogwarts Legacy or Harry Potter, that is a live service where people can live and work and build and play in the world in an ongoing basis? So basically what he's saying is that he wishes that instead of the studio focus on making this a actual story-based game, he wishes that the company or the developers would have focused on making this a live service game. And he mentioned some other stuff in here. I'm not going to go into every single little detail of the article, but they talked about Suicide Squad and, you know, how they actually like how Suicide Squad is, and the developers of Suicide Squad, they are doubling down on trying to make live service work in there very well. It's just baffling to me that I don't understand why they can't read the room. All right, look, there's nothing wrong with making a great one and done game, as they call it. I mean, what's wrong with that? There's plenty of companies, plenty of studios and developers that make single player experiences or co-op experiences, whatever you want to do. And they're wildly successful, and you can create DLCs and expansions or whatever. You can go crazy with it. You don't have to make everything live service. And this to me is all the signs of management or upper management that is completely tone deaf and only focused on the things that don't matter to gamers. Like, yes, live service games, if they're done right, are pretty fun. I mean, you know, for example, there were moments where Destiny was fun. You know, it's not as fun in recent days, but it was fun, and it's considered a live service type game. And you got things like World of Warcraft. Yes, it's an MMO, you know, and it does have live service elements. And then you got new games like Helldivers 2 that do it pretty well, in my opinion, where they don't have some egregious practices with live service. So there are plenty of examples out there of games that do live service pretty good. I mean, it's not the end of the world. But then there are games like Suicide Squad that should never be a live service game. Why is it needed? They were so successful with these games as a solo experience or a co-op experience that they didn't need to push the envelope and make it a thing where you have to always be adding more content in a live service type environment. I don't get it. And the fact that he's using Hogwarts Legacy as the next example, right? He was not, it's like you figured they'd be thrilled that, okay, well, we had a win last year. Hogwarts Legacy was actually very well received. We sold a ton of copies. Great, let's make more of that. No, the CEO is like, that didn't earn enough money residually. They want more money coming in frequently from these products rather than just making good games. And I get it. They're companies, they're studios that are supposed to focus on the bottom line, make money. They can't make games without making money. But I don't know, this thing just rubbed me the wrong way from the standpoint of, this is why people have such a hard time investing into games these days, because it's people like this, when they say stuff like this, that make you really want to like rip your hair out, because you're like, do you even really understand or care about what gamers actually want? Like, I get it from a structure standpoint. You have to have people at the top that understand financials. They need to make money on these games and they need to figure out how to do it. But you also have to have people that understand the gaming culture and understand that, okay, gamers like live service games. Use Helldivers 2 as an example. I think they've got a great live service model. Use them as an example going forward. Don't sit here and double down on the things nobody cares about. Like free-to-play games, like mobile games more specifically is what he's talking about, because they want to load it up with things that you have to buy to do whatever in the mobile games these days. I mean, there's so many like egregious things in that game that make you spend money because they're not technically free. You have to do all this crap. Same thing with like live service games like freaking Suicide Squad. That was absolutely terrible. I don't know. I mean, like it's funny. Like I said in the opening part of this segment, they can't get anything right at Warner Brothers right now. I'm a huge DC fanboy in the sense that I love Batman. I love the DC superheroes. I like them way more than Marvel. But all the properties suck, from the video games now to the movies genre. Everything sucks. And it's because they have people like this at the top that think, oh, you know, gamers like to buy stuff, right? Let's just, you know, why didn't we actually add more stuff people could buy in Hogwarts Legacy? Why didn't we make it a live service game? Why didn't we, you know, go that route? That makes no sense. I mean, we made a lot of money, sure, but we can do even better next time. So the next Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy, or whatever the freak they make is going to be live service, I bet. They're probably going to push them to do that. I don't know. It just irritates me because, like, it's like, come on, Warner Brothers. You guys are historic. You have so many historic properties in your grasp, and you're going to screw it all up. And I don't know, I just really want these things to go away from Warner Brothers and Discovery and just go to somebody else, because it's just getting worse and worse, and I don't understand. It just pisses me off.